Hello there, happy Valentine's Day. You're either single today or you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, have a great one with your loved one. But if you're single, why not take the time later to just, I don't know, start a new romance anime? Which is why today I'm here to tell you about 5 romance anime that you should watch, along with a lot of other honorable mentions. I have not watched everything, just a heads up, but I hope that this list at least is good to you. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is a little bit of a different video here today. I have watched a fair share of romance anime. Why not tell my favorites along with other anime that you may have not even heard of, or at the same time just need potentially a reminder to watch this specific romance anime. Of course, just another heads up, I don't watch everything, as I'm going to mention some anime at the end here in terms of what I haven't checked out. If you have a favorite romance anime, or even more than just one, let me know down in the comments and I'll go ahead and put it into my planning list that is never ever ending. The first one on this list of romance anime that you should watch is going to be the Rascal Does Not Dream series. Most notably, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and it only recently ended with a season 2 with an upcoming final movie, which is actually going to complete the anime series. But this one, I want to start with this one because I feel like if you've watched this series, you would know that the dynamic between the main couple, Sakura and Mai, is probably one of the best I have ever seen. And that's not putting it lightly at all. I feel like Mai is just one of the best female protagonists. Her dynamic with Sakura, especially as they've grown from characters from episode 1 to the end of season 2, is just so amazing to watch because they trust each other so much. And that's, I guess, one of the more important things in a relationship, right? Communication. Look, I'm not here to give you exactly advice, but I'm like, I think that's at least common sense, right? But yeah, the character focus between Sakura and Mai, it's just so great. It's so great. But there's also a lot of support character focus, and I think that also puts up a lot more points when it comes down to this specific series. I think when you have a couple who likes to poke fun at each other for a little bit, but also realize the multitude of a specific situation or how serious a situation can be, they understand each other at that point. And I also do think that as we see them evolve from, you know, being a high school couple to now being at a college level in season 2, it just continues to show that they, again, trust each other so much, but they also just love each other so much. The contents of the series can be very serious, even if it doesn't have to deal with Mai. It can deal with the other characters, because obviously supernatural and the whole thing about the puberty syndrome and how they try to combat it. I just feel like, for me personally, this is just easily a great series with an amazing couple that I just don't think you should miss at all. If anything, that supernatural aspect makes the series even more unique, which is why I feel as though that everybody should definitely watch it if you haven't already. All right, next one up here is the Oregairu series, which is also most notably known as the My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu series. This one is definitely something that, even though it is a rom-com, it is definitely more a little bit more drama focused, but this is also an anime I think that may not be for everybody, only because of the potential philosophical aspects. There are a lot of witty characters in this anime. There's a lot of great dialogue in this anime, because I feel as though that kind of sort of maybe some folks may feel like a smart ass, but you know, it also just depends on the situation. But the whole trio of characters between Hachiman, Yui, and Yukino, they're just so mesmerizing to watch. Especially the whole growth dynamic from episode 1 to the last episode is just, again, just so amazing to watch, because these characters grow. Specifically Hachiman, we see him first as a person who is very cynical. He's a loner, you know, he has a lot of trauma from before. He gets forced into the service club by his teacher, who is the GOAT, by the way, and pretty much sets things into motion here. And after that, you just get, this was probably the first anime I really fell in love with when I started watching anime back in the summer of 2020. The character of Hachiman specifically, his character specifically, is just incredible to watch, because cynical loner guy, but then he starts to want to care more about what is happening in front of him and around him, especially when he sees how people react to certain things that he specifically does. This is, I think, just an anime that does things in a non-traditional way. This anime is a complete series. Like, if you started this anime today, you would get literally a complete story with a winner at the end. It does deal with a love triangle, but I think it explores the love triangle very, very well. And there are just a lot of hard decisions that have to be made, a lot of heartfelt moments that are shown. And to me personally, Hachiman specifically just makes this one so great, because you want to root for his success in whatever he is doing, even if, especially in the first season, he may sound and look like a cynical loser that, why are you the way you are? That gets explored very well. So props to my guy, because again, this is probably one of the first anime that I really fell in love with and just understood. And I just love the fact that he has all these interesting monologues to himself as well, with the way he thinks about a specific situation or a certain character, and I just find it so interesting. I don't know, I just think he is just such an interesting character to understand. At the end of the day, you kind of also get that with Yukino and Yui as well. There's just a depth to these characters that I love so much, and honestly, the support characters as well, pretty good as well. Love Oregairu. Love it so much. The next one up here is the Kaguya-sama Love is War series. I feel like this is kind of self-explanatory almost. I think Kaguya-sama is probably one of the, if not the most popular out of the 5 detailed ones that I'm going to mention. I just feel like this is just one of the best rom-coms ever. Like, I just don't see why it wouldn't, because this manga, this series overall just means so much to me, and it just has also, again, a support character focus that it just gives a depth to these characters. Again, where Chika, you know, she has the Chika dance, blah blah, and then you have Miko and then Ishigami. These characters are so fun to watch with their gimmicks, and then obviously you have the main couple in Kaguya and Miyuki, and these two, man, I just love them so much. You have the whole entire thing about, you know, trying to, I'm gonna make her confess to me first, or it's vice versa, and it's just so funny. But the gimmicks in this anime just makes this so funny to watch. The anime adaptation just elevates the manga, in my opinion, but I don't think that's like a hot take at all, because the anime adaptation for this thing is just incredible. It's just so amazing to watch, man. Going back to the main couple though, I think their evolution from realizing their battles and then also realizing how much one means to each other just hit so hard. Like, the serious moments in this anime hit so hard. There was definitely an episode, I was crying my eyes out, man, because it was just so beautiful to watch. But again, Kaguya-sama, near and dear to my heart. The next one up here, and the fourth one that I wanted to at least detail, is the Quintessential Quintuplets. Now this one is a harem, but at least does the harem aspect well. I know you may have potentially rolled your eyes. Look, thing is though, with Quints, is that this one, while Futaro isn't, you know, that unique MC at all, he still cares about the 5 sisters. But the coolest part about it is that the 5 sisters aren't there just to be, you know, there for the guy. They have their own aspirations as well. They have their own things that in futures that they think about, things that they just need help with, and Futaro is usually there to help them with it. With the fact that all 5 of them are very, very unique in their own specific way. My favorite is Nino. This one deserves so much love, and I know usually whenever it's a harem, it doesn't usually bode well, blah blah blah. It can be like trash or whatever. Quince, I feel like, is a prime example of a harem anime done right. If this is a complete anime series, you get a winner at the end of the day. Someone does win. I mean, they literally say that with the first couple of seconds of the anime anyway. This is just one that also is kind of near and dear to my heart, because I remember reading the manga after season 2 and I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah. And the fifth one that I wanted to detail here is Bloom Into You. Now this one, man, I feel like for me, I'm going to make a separate video for this. I probably should have said it, but I'm probably also going to make a separate video on Oregairu at some point as well. But Bloom Into You, out of the 5 that I have mentioned, I think is probably one of the most impactful ones that I have watched and read in some time. And it was so impactful to the point where I really thought about a lot of things in my life, specifically my love life. Like, look, we're all human. We have a love life, I think, you know. But I was definitely on this bed here thinking about all the people who I've had a crush with and just thinking about a lot of stuff. I overthought a lot with this one, man. This one is just so interesting because you have the character not you, the character. She is a character who struggles with love and her potential attachment to love. Like, she doesn't think that she is at least able to love someone as of the moment, especially from what we've seen from her in episode 1. She is kind of just like, she doesn't really feel anything, especially when a guy doesn't ask her out or anything. It isn't until you have Toko here, who is the, I think, president of the student council, and next thing you know, she just absolutely just falls madly in love with you. And at first it's like she didn't exactly know how to anticipate it or think about it, but then you just get this story of these two characters. Like, these two characters are flawed in their own specific way. Like, specifically Toko and her identity. At the same time, you just get this relationship that starts brewing so natural to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe that this happened here. And then in episode 1, it felt like the complete opposite, you know? These characters, I love these two so much. There is a character focus on the support characters, although I would love more of it. I would have loved more of it in the anime at least. For some reason, I felt so interested in the story where I finished the manga the same day I finished the anime. I remember finishing the manga and I remember staying up until like 4 a.m. once again, as I mentioned, just thinking about life. I thought about life and I was like, damn, dude, like, oh my goodness. But if I had to say this, Blooming to You is just so worth it. I think for me, even as a straight guy, this is one of the best impactful romance series I've at least consumed. Here's what I will say. For some reason, there is no season 2. It's actually criminal that there is no season 2 because season 1 ends on a specific note. But if they just had a season 2, it literally finishes the manga. I don't know how we don't have a season 2 yet. We have to make that happen somehow, some way. But please check out Blooming to You. It is so freaking good, man. It is so good. Once again, honorable mentions. I just want to at least shout out a couple more. Actually, not even a couple. There's actually a lot more that I would like to touch up upon and just give a very quick reason. So first one is Wotakoi, which is Love is Hard for Otaku. This one is set in a workplace. Great dynamics of the couples, and the best part, adults. Oh my gosh, it's not a high school setting. Oh my goodness, that in and of itself should already just be, oh, I'm gonna watch this next. A lot of people are definitely very, very tired about the high school rom-com setting. I honestly am kind of getting there as well, but as we will see later, there is one that is airing right now that is like, man, this is still too good though. Speaking of high school rom-coms, the next one I want to talk about is Horimiya. This one is, I think, a prime example of a great rom-com set in high school. Many different characters, many different personalities just meshed together, and I just feel like it's so cool to see a friend group just chill out, hang out, and then you have the main couple who they have a secret side to them away from school, but then they just come together here, and then it's just a wonderful progression of romance from both Miyamura and Hori. So I think it's one of the top popular romance series of this decade at least. Next one is Kimi ni Todoke, From Me to You. This one is actually a little bit of an old one, but it did have a season 3 recently out of nowhere, but season 3 was great, by the way. Kimi ni Todoke, though, I personally have a couple gripes with it. But Sawako is still a great character because a lot of people think she's very scary because she's based off of the character from The Ring, I think it was. Despite all that, it's still a great anime. But as I mentioned earlier, you know how we have to have communication, you know. Yeah. But this is still a great anime. Great characters, great support character focus. Check that one out. It is a little bit on the older end. I think the first season aired in 2009. Somehow, some way, still got a season 3 in 2024, I think it was. So, yeah. Makeine? I don't even, how do you say it? Whatever, man. I'm just gonna say too many losing heroines, okay? All right. This is probably one of the most best looking ones I've seen in recent times, and the production quality is just absolutely outstanding. The staff who was put on for this anime, they went above and beyond, similar to how Kaguya-sama was Actually, both by A1 Pictures, which makes a lot of sense. It focuses on the trope of the losing heroine, aka the girl who gets rejected, and this guy just has to put up with what they are dealing with, and some of it is very, very sad. The focus on these three characters, these three losing heroines, is just so good and makes them memorable to watch. Anna specifically is hilarious, okay? She is so funny. Next one up is Your Lie in April. All right, look. This is a classic. I feel like I don't even have to say anything. Focused on music, it is still a great anime. I feel like a tragic classic. There you go. Blue Box is next. This is a sports anime with a love triangle, but the thing is though, the chemistry is great between all these characters. The production quality, again, is great to watch. It isn't as like crazy, like the story isn't that amazing, but I still feel like it is at a basic level that is very enjoyable. The way the love triangle is set and how it's explored is still very good. It can get a little bit tropey, especially on the male character side, but I still both love the female characters that are explored here. And this was also deemed one of the potential best romances that was going to get an anime adaptation leading up to it, and personally I still agree with it. Next one up is A Sign of Affection. This one is a shoujo where the character cannot speak. She speaks through sign language. This one is also, just like Blue Box, I feel like a little bit more simpler, basic, but it's still very effective because I think the guy just means well, and he cares about Yuki so much to the point where I think she also understands it despite speaking through sign language. The next one up here is The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. This anime, once again, also set in a high school, but the thing is though, these characters actually communicate with each other. The whole thing about characters, especially in rom-coms, I feel like is just, you know, when you don't have characters communicate with each other, it gets very, very tiring. When you have this amazing basis on how characters should actually communicate, then you have a recipe for success. And these two are so cute together, man. I can't believe it. The fact that it hasn't had a season 2 announced yet as of right now is actually kind of criminal, I'm not gonna lie, but I think we'll be seeing it soon. It's just that Rintaro and Karako, they're dynamic. They're set in two different high schools. One is an all girls, one is an all boys. One is prestigious, the all girls one is prestigious, while the other one is as basic as you can get. Just an amazing romance that tugs at your heartstrings, makes you smile so much. This is just a feel-good, wholesome one as well. Speaking of wholesome, Danger's in My Heart. Same thing, very, very wholesome. Makes you feel good, smile. The evolution of Ichikawa is so cool to watch because you see him, and then I think in the first episode, he was like, I want to murder somebody. I'm like, what? What is this guy talking about? But then he meets Yamada, and Yamada is just the sweetest girl. Oh my goodness. She also just likes to eat a lot, which I think is just so funny to me because she will just, you know, she's just gonna have a chip and then, you know, she'll be very embarrassed. But she is just so cool to watch, and the way these two's relationship grows from first season to the second season, where the second season is just absolutely incredible. I have to watch that movie, but for some reason, that movie is not anywhere near me. Don't understand it. But anyways, Danger in My Heart. This is definitely one I didn't exactly expect me rating so high from when I first watched it. But after that, I can understand why now. Next one up is Insomniacs After School. I actually think this one is a little underrated. A lot more people should actually watch this romance anime because this one deals with insomnia, obviously in the title. But these two characters don't sleep and they can't sleep. But because of that, they meet up, and then their progress, I feel like, is so natural. And they understand each other's issues, their problems, and it just fits so well for an amazing romance story between two folks who probably didn't even see it coming. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. I actually think I need to rewatch this at some point because the way that these two grew together was so natural. Them understanding each other is just one of the best things about this anime, in my opinion. This one is underrated as hell. Another one here is Saekano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. Now, it's been a while since I've watched this, but I wanted to at least mention it at some point here. This is a harem, but it does it well. All of the girls, I feel like, is unique in their very own way. I think it was about making a dating visual novel. And then there you go. At the end of the day, you do get a complete series, you do get a winner, and again, just another great romance anime. If I remember correctly, it was a little bit more drama. There are still comedic aspects to it, but yeah, check out Saekano. Next one up is 100 Girlfriends Really, 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 Really Love You, which is another harem, but it is one of the most funniest anime because it gets not only does it get ridiculously funny, it just gets so meta. One of, if not the greatest thing about this. Why is the narrator referencing an episode from a previous season? That was funny to me. The fact that it has 3 seasons, man, please give us more, man. Please just give us more. It is so amazing. All these characters, I just feel like when you have a meta anime and it just is so funny and the gimmicks are so funny. Oh my goodness. Tomo-chan is a girl. This one focuses on the fact that Tomo is a tomboy, but at the end of the day, you get a very, very wholesome, feel-good story. Once again, support character focus again is a great one. Great progression between all of the main couples, although I think this is probably one of the few instances where the side couple is way better than the main couple. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right. That's just my opinion. Toradora, classic. I feel like for this one is just such a classic to the where I don't think I need to put anything. Although the Taiga, I think I didn't really like Taiga at first. She definitely grew on me, and I think you also just get a very classic rom-com story here, but this is also a love triangle. Yes, it is a love triangle. So I think Toradora is just also just a classic that if you're a romance fan, you definitely just need to watch Toradora. Date Alive. I actually was thinking if I should put Date Alive here, but I'm going to put Date Alive here because while it is a harem with so many different characters, it is also a sci-fi anime, which is something I don't think we've had anything like it before in this list, which makes it unique. And the fact that it has, I think the last season was the 5th season. This one is just fan service heavy, so just I guess a heads up with that. I think Date Alive and its sci-fi-esque drama really shines here, especially in the later seasons. Horimiya, by the way, is the GOAT for obvious reasons. Anyway, next one up is I Have a Crush at Work. This one also is going to be underrated. This one, again, adult and work life, and that gets explored, but the fact that these two work together, their issues and potential other situations that may happen is just so refreshing to watch. And there's a lot of sexy time in this one, but that's the best part about it because it is normal, you know? At least I hope it is, but yeah, it's normal, right? I thought this one went under the radar. Next one up is My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. This one is also shoujo, set in a college setting. Progression between these characters was great. The guy is actually a pro gamer, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but the thing is, though, Akane likes the looks of this guy, and yeah, it just sets off from there. Tonikawa, man, it's been a while since I've watched Tonikawa, but it's very wholesome. The MC literally asked for marriage in episode 1. I'm pretty sure. After that, you get a feel-good, wholesome story between two characters who very, very much love each other. The Pet Girl of Sakurasou is another one. Now, it has been years since I watched this one, but from what I remember, this anime almost had it all, almost. Lots of drama, love triangle, support character focus, support character couples, which is a great thing. I forgot that Sorata was banished into this other dorm because he was troublesome. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, I think this one is still very, very good. Domestic Girlfriend, I'm just gonna put this on here because it is a messy one. So if you're looking for a messy one for whatever reason, just check that one out. I'm not gonna say anything else. I put up a whole video as to how this one was the one that made me addicted to anime. That's all I'm gonna say. Skipping over. That's it. That's it. Love After World Domination is also very underrated. This one deals with the fact that the main couple deals with the fact that they come from different sides. One is the hero, one is the enemy, and they secretly meet up with each other to, you know, spend time with one another, even despite the fact that they are supposed to be enemies. But My Dress Up Darling, I feel like is very self-explanatory here. Makeine is just the absolute star of the show, and Gojo is honestly a refreshing main character. I think their progression, especially despite the fact that even if it is a bit slow, they focus on each other's successes as a guy trying to, you know, make Hina dolls, and Marin just being such an amazing cosplayer. The fact that they feed off each other and try to help one another is just so fun to watch. And then, of course, Marin, again, I just have to say, Marin is just the absolute star. What do you... I mean, I don't got anything to say about that. But yeah, My Dress Up Darling, just one of the more popular ones out there recently. The next one is Angel Next Door. Spoils Me Rotten. This one is another feel-good anime. Progression is very good. I wish the animation was better. And second season is coming up very soon here, actually. So here's two more that is airing right now. One is You and I Are Polar Opposites. This one is the popular one at the moment, and this one is absolutely great. I love the main couple so much. Suzuki is an absolute star. She is so funny. And then Tani is actually, like, I don't think he realizes this, but this guy is actually hilarious, despite how, like, you know, he doesn't really talk like this. He just, like, mutters to himself. But anyways, supporting characters so far, very good. Need to see more of it, but I'm very much enjoying it. Moonlit Dusk, though, I feel like definitely needs a little bit more cooking in the oven, but shoujo, decent progression so far. The fact that two characters are potentially together because they're quote-unquote princesses is very, very funny. Give both of those a shot. Both are currently airing at the same time right now. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put up some movies here. Your Name, I feel like I don't need to really say anything about that. Jose, the Tiger and the Fish is also very, very good, drama-filled. The female character, unfortunately, she cannot walk, which is why the main character is there to save the day, and the way that they progress was really, really nice. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, despite how the title is drama-filled, but it deals with someone who unfortunately is going to pass away soon due to the fact that, you know, has a pancreatic illness. This one is just amazing, man. This one is amazing. So go ahead and check that one out as well. I think the character who has it, she just wanted to live life as much as possible, and I thought that was just a beautiful wish that we see in the movie. Now, just a couple of planning ones that I have not checked out yet. I'm just going to list them off here. Fruits Basket, Love Chunibyo and the Other Delusions, White Album 2, Clannad, Golden Time, Nisekoi, Maid Sama, Real Life, My Love Story, and Teasing Master Takagi. Those are ones that I know I have not checked out yet. If there are ones that I am missing, please let me know in the comments. And everybody, that is it. That is my video on romance anime that you should watch at some point if, you know, maybe you're single on Valentine's Day, or if you are in a relationship. What if you guys watch it together? Hey, there we go. Hold on a second. Those are all the romance anime I wanted to at least detail and just give my thoughts out really quick on there. I'm a fan of pretty much all of the ones that I mentioned, and I hope you guys go ahead and give those a shot whenever you guys can. So yeah, just a recommendation video, very, very simple. If you guys liked it, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a great Valentine's Day, and yeah, enjoy. See ya.